That's good. Good. Okay. Constitutional significant. Constitute. Effect. Cause. Devil, how's it going, man? How you doing? Change. Effect. Ramiro, how's it going? Okay. Constitutional. Constitute. Change. Constitute. Good. I think I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Just you know, trying to getting better a little by little. So once again, we'll try to keep it to a relatively short stream, just so I can get better. But I'm feeling okay for the moment, so we'll hopefully get to see Ramiro beat Curtis's ass. Masso, how's it going, man? No, that's not Dr. Z. No. Okay, it's fine. Okay. Anyone with an unfamiliar name is Dr. Z to me. Yeah, that's fair. Significantly constitute. Significant impact. How do we get a significant from how do we get to impact from significant and change? Okay, impact. Significant to impact. How do we get there? It's a good question. I don't know the answer. Stop it. Dude, ever since we started playing Minecraft, my fucking YouTube shorts are filled with Minecraft bullshit now. Which is fine, you know, but it's not what I'm used to. Reform. Oh, that's a good point. Ah, okay. So we've got constitutional to reform to constitute to reform to change. Unhinged, how's it going? Because I'm gonna sleep right now. Geeky lied to us again. I don't lie to you, Kami. You don't show up to my streams either, bitch. So what's up? Nagato, how's it going? The Force trailer just stopped. Yeah, at fucking 7:30 in the morning in China. Yeah, thanks for that, genius. What time? Oh, fuck, it's 8:30 in the morning in China. Oh, I was off the dome? That was pretty quick. Controversy. Check who's giving you info. What does that mean? What does that mean? What are you giving me? What info are you giving me? It's Unhinged who told you for sure. Yeah, I know. That's I immediately said, like, yeah, thanks for the lie, dumbass. I already said that. What are you talking about? The Melissa trailer also just dropped? That would actually kind of be peak. I know you're lying, but that would actually kind of be peak. Anyway, I'm off. I'll check VOD tomorrow. Maybe. Alright, whatever. Alright, see you, Kami. Okay. Okay, so change significant. Cause. Wait, I already added cause. What? Change to cause. Cause and effect. Where's effect been at? Oh, it's right here. Okay. Revolution. Oh, revolution. Shit. Did the PVs get copyright claimed? No, not right now, but I fear that they might. So, I took them down. Same thing with the Lumion Central, because we were talking about this and we were both like, in fairness, it was mostly him who was like, yeah, I feel nervous about this, and I was like, you know what, that's a good point. I will follow your lead. I'm gonna give him total credit on that one. Did you already film the video with Lumion Central and the? No, we're not filming a video together. What are you talking about? Did the constitutional constitute reform, change, revolution, significantly significant reform is already on there. Reform, revolution, revolution. Since when are you talking? Like just a couple days ago. You already dropped a video and you were in it. Yeah, thanks. Unhinged, bro. Dude, I feel like your personality type maps on so... Oh, controversy. Yes, thank you, bro. I feel like your personality type maps on so cleanly to someone who works in the military. Holy shit, Unhinged. Bro, grinding so hard. Yes, we are, Thunder. I'm sick. Doing short streams. I had my graduation this week. God, it's been such a busy week. And we are still making so much time for Lord of the Mysteries. No matter what cometh and what goeth, Lord of the Mysteries stayeth. That sounds. Does that sounds make any sense? No. Do I give a fuck? Hell no. Okay, 684. It's not 83. I fucking lied. Okay. How does this game work? Try Descent. So so you're given two words on hint. So today it's constitutional and significantly, and you have to try to find words that are that would link them by meaning, not by anything else. How many chats are you reading this stream? As many as I can, Nuggets. That's the answer. Okay. I found someone on TikTok live who apparently went to the same school as Cuttlefish. What does that do for me? I'm so curious. Descent. That's actually kind of based. You know what? See, like so your word maps on descent maps on from constitutional to revolution to controversy. So like that was actually a really, really good word. Unhinged. Now we're looking for one of these words: revolution, controversy, change to have like a link from thing to significant. Controversy, significant. Big. You're telling me big doesn't map onto significant? You're out of your fucking mind. Big, significant. Declaration? Constitute independence. Impactful. Oh god, what a web of evolution. Oh god, what a web of words we're making. What the fuck is this? This is disgusting. Okay. Okay, impact and change. Impact and change. Those are Impact change. How do you... Okay. To which to get impact to change. Impact, effect, influence. Oh, come on. Okay. How do you influence change? Catalyst. I can see how you... I can see like a catalyst for change. I can see where you were going with that unhinged. Transform. That might do it. No, you're kidding. You are taking the fucking piss. Right? I was thinking, you know, change, civil rights, civil, union. Okay. Oh, transfer. Oh my god, we're gonna be doing this forever. Hold on. Bro, can you give me a hint, please? Way. Pathway. Change. Road. I'm thinking like a road to change, pathway to change. Transform. Oh my god, this is so cooked. Derive? Divisive. Yes! Okay. Thank god, that was so bad. Bruh, significant transformation is evolution. True. Oh my god. Okay. So right. So constitutional to constitute to divisive to impactful to significantly. Oh my god, we got there. Okay. Let's just do was taken and then we will... Or where taken? Where taken. No, this is not the right one. Is it this one? No. Tough games. World when taken. How many stream chatters does it take to complete a lexicon? Fucking all of them. Okay, so definitely UK. Wait, UK, right? Yeah, definitely UK. Why am I doubting myself? Definitely UK. What part of the UK? Couldn't fucking tell you. Easy, how's it going, man? Don't be waving no white flags, bro. You're still ahead, and I'm so sick. Jesus, I'm so cooked. I'm not even gonna try with it. So it's definitely the UK. I'm thinking late 90s, early 2000s. The clothings tell me late 90s, early 2000s. Okay? Definitely the UK. We're going to go to London because I don't know anywhere else in the UK except for London, Birmingham. We're going to do late 1980s. Is that Iceland? Does the map... Wait. Oh, wait. Wait, you might be right. Hold on. That's not the UK. That's not the UK. Wait, is it? Is that Iceland? Okay, if you fuck me here, devil, I'm taking your mod powers, okay? We're gonna do the Reykjavik, and we'll do 1998. Let's go. It was okay. Never mind. You know what? Based devil. Good for you, mate. No, I would have totally gone with the UK. That wouldn't have been great. Okay. I mean, I would have lost like probably 30 points. Okay, let's not be rash. No, you got it. You got it. You're good. Okay. I don't know what this name is. Oh god, I don't know. Okay. Oh, Gwent music. Oh, based. This music has seen me lose so much gold coins. It's not even funny. I've lost all my gold coins to this tune. I've also doubled my wealth under this tune. It's truly been revolutionary in my life. Okay, I don't know. Does this speak like Middle Eastern to you guys? Yeah, I have no idea. Fate didn't show me any of this. I mean, anime fate. Okay, we're gonna go with like Middle Eastern. I don't know. This speaks Middle Eastern to me. I'm thinking we're gonna go with Turkey. You know what? Unhinged. I was thinking Turkey too. You're probably fucking me here, but I don't care. You know, 1927 Turkey. Oh god, that could have been worse. The year was fine. Okay, we're fine. Oh god, that was so bad. Get me out of here. Ah, thank god for the US flying their fucking flags everywhere. Okay. US. Shish kebab. Okay, wait, where are we? We both love Turkey. I know! Pete's clams. Okay. Sabre. What the fuck is this car? Oh, is this what is this a what the fuck is this car? Can't stay long, but oh, thanks, Queen. Yeah, I know this timing doesn't work great for you, but I appreciate you popping by at all. It's a Greek. Fuck you. Where would this be? Because the continental U.S. is huge. New Orleans or Miami? This doesn't scream Miami to me at all. Yeah, but that's for the food, dumbass. There's two U.S. There'd be Greek food there. Alright, already like this stream. Thanks, Queen. You have a good night. Okay, oysters. Okay, where's big on someone who lives in the U.S.? Unhinged. I think you're my only U.S. frog right now. So where are you guys big on clams and stuff? This is not New York. This is not New York. Look at this. Oh, I guess it could be a new. I guess it doesn't have to be. Most Greek. Okay, you know what? You might actually be right. This might actually be like a New York, not New York, but like a Yonkers or some bullshit. Okay, we're gonna go up here. 2013. Ask Easy. I don't know if he's still here, Nagato. Alright, we're going to take a guess at 2013 New York. Hit me with the money. 2025? Bro, who the fuck is driving this in 2025? What? But, okay, oh my god. Unhinged Devil, thanks guys, y'all are goated. Okay, whoa. Okay. This could be... Okay, so this is UK flag, but that's Japanese flag, old Japanese flag, sub 1945. I know this was the flag before till 45. I don't know when it changed, but maybe 50s it changed. Okay, I don't know what the fuck this flag is. Okay, this could be any, like the UK and Japan. Like this could be anywhere in the world. What am I? Okay, they're signing a treaty. It seems like. I'm gonna guess it's happening in Japan or maybe mainland China, because I know the Japanese did some stuff in China. Austria. You're kidding, right? I'm gonna go mainland Japan. No, I'm gonna go somewhere near mainland China. No, they wouldn't. No, they would have signed in Tokyo. No, they would have signed in mainland Japan. Unless, would they have had them fly over to the UK? No, I'm gonna guess they had them fly over to the UK to 19 no, 1919. Oh, I'm so glad I went with the UK. I'm so glad I went with the UK. Oh my god, I got 50 points out of that. I would have been cooked if I went with Japan. I would have lost all my points. Oh, we're so good. Oh my god, we're so good, boys. We're so goddamn good. What the fuck? Fotografiska. Is this speaking Scandinavian to you guys? Or German? German. Because of that Anglo-Japanese... Was that a thing? Anglo-Japanese alliance in World War One? Oh, 1902 to 1923. Fair enough. I didn't even know that was a thing. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, what are we thinking? I'm thinking either German, but German wouldn't have this much... No, German would have this much English. I don't know if the Scandinavian countries would have this much English. Maybe they would. I don't know. Oh. Boat. Like a... I don't think Germany would have this many... It's giving Dutch. Oh, Dutch might actually be... Where's the Netherlands? Where's the Netherlands? Where's the Netherlands? Where is the Netherlands? Do I not know where the Netherlands are? Germany, Luxembourg, Belgium, Dutch. I reckon 10 minutes? Okay. Yeah, no worries. We're gonna start... Where's North? Netherlands? How much more? It can't be this north. This is... We're getting Scandinavian north now. Where the fuck is Netherlands? What? Okay, right beside Germany and Belgium. Oh, there it is. Okay. Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not... 2017. It was Sweden. Oh, we are Swedish. We're so clever. Fuck you guys. Okay, we're 2017. Our ages, our years were similar. Okay, let's start reading. Let's start reading. Give me a second. All right, we'll get started reading in 1 sec. Alright, let's go. 684 battle encounter. Oh, ho, 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 ho. No, devil, you can't be right back. You're my only mod. No, you can't do this. Read with funny voices so we can clip it. Alright, I'm gonna make Kirchus have a really silly voice, okay? I'm gonna have the fucking slaughterer Kirchus have the Morty voice. Y'all ready for this? Okay. Ka-chow! Ka-chow! Kirchus only half turned his body as a cup of beer hit the round table beside him, smashing it to pieces. Amidst the gunfire, he didn't attempt to dodge, as though he had instinctively seen through the illusion. It was as though he had a spring installed in him as he bounced to the forefront amongst the gambler and alcoholics who were crouched down or scattered. His gaze locked on the cold adventurer, Gehrman. Kirchus's pupils constricted as he opened his mouth and chanted the language of foulness stemming from the abyss. At this moment, Klein truly pulled the trigger as a pale golden bullet that appeared to be scooped out of the boiling hot water shot out, going straight for the slaughterer, who had a bounty of 9,500 pounds. Although Kirchus did gently lift his right hand and spread his fingers to produce a light blue flame in his palm, he then grabbed the bullet in an unimaginable fashion. What? He grabbed the bullet? The bullet entered a cage as the light blue flame solidified. Following that, the bullet emitted sunlight, just enough of it to neutralize everything. Two figures stood up beside Curtis. One of them was a short-haired woman wielding dual pistols, and the other was a boorish man wearing boxing gloves. Clearly, Curtis didn't come to Toscard Pier in search of supplies alone. It should be said that he definitely had partners he knew here. 3 Beyonders. Curtis might even be a Sequence 5. At that moment, Klein nearly blurted out something along the lines of, my bad. One couldn't make any preparations when attacking a devil, relying on complete chance. Furthermore, there couldn't be any hesitation. Otherwise, the devil would immediately detect the ill intent and danger. However, under such circumstances, it was truly hard to tell who held the advantage. Klein didn't hesitate to turn around, holding his revolver, he then agilely dashed for the staircase leading to the second floor. Just as he dashed in, a light blue flame smashed into the side of the staircase, instantly exploding. A tiny part of the bottom of the staircase collapsed as the bar began to tremble. A strong smell of sulfur spread everywhere. I don't know why the smell of sulfur is like so strongly connotated to devils. I don't know if anyone or like demons. I don't know if anyone knows. But like I when I was watching Supernatural, it would always come up and I'd be like, what the fuck? Curtis and his 2 companions didn't delay any further as they jumped across the few steps of the staircase in pursuit of Gehrman. Klein ran for the second floor, and midway he began his examination of the corresponding spirit body threads. This allowed him to easily find an empty room without humans. He turned around, took a step, and was about to enter the door before jumping off the window to escape. At that moment, Curtis and his 2 companions chased up the second story. Hold on, let me put on some fight music. I just have regular music right now. Hold on. At that moment, Curtis and his 2 companions chased up to the second story. Upon seeing this scene, they tactically split up. The former continued the pursuit, while the latter entered the room on the same side in a bid to head to intercept Gehrman. And Klein was waiting precisely for this opportunity. He half turned his body as his black-gloved hand grabbed at the air. The woman with dual pistols and a man in boxing gloves continued their actions without detecting any abnormalities. They rushed into the other rooms, jumped off the window, and went far away without returning. Their goal in taking action of separate and intercept had allowed Klein to use bare enough corruption's distortion to change the meaning to separate and take action alone. This wouldn't last very long, but it was enough for Klein to fight Curtis one-on-one for a brief moment. Having completed distortion, he fell to the ground, rolling inside the building and avoiding the light blue flame which Curtis kept shooting out. Amidst the incessant booming, the building where the bar originally was wavered as though it had experienced an earthquake. Right on the heels of that, Curtis rapidly lunged forward, entering the rather vast room. Seeing Gehrman adeptly somersault and jump without fighting him head-on, while also controlling his emotions very well, Curtis opened his mouth and used the unique language of foulness to say the word slow. The entire room and all the objects inside seemed to calm down. Klein, while somersaulting, slowed down significantly and wasn't as smooth as before. Curtis didn't hesitate to lock on to his target as he followed up with another word of the devil language. Die. Oh, that is really cool. Actually, Rick, I think you should fucking die. Klein's figure instantly froze as he stood rooted on the spot and gradually turned faint and thin, becoming a paper figurine with spotted red dust. Forget the candy scene. What candy scene? What now? At the same time, he surfaced by the side of the door wearing a half top hat and black double-breasted frock suit. He reached his black-gloved hand, grabbed the handle, and shut the door of the collapsing room with a pull. The din outside vanished, as the room seemed to stand alone, becoming a firm cage. Upon seeing this, Curtis's body swelled as his clothes tore. Good lord. That's how it feels when the evil spirit from the underground gets out. He instantly transformed into a behemoth nearly 3 meters tall. His skin appeared dark, but it was dark black and sinister. Goat horns filled with countless mysterious patterns grew on his head as a pair of bat wings on his back spread open. Swirling around were light blue flames that emitted the strong smell of sulfur. Light blue flames shot, remember Klein through the beer, that bribe? Nice. Very nice. No, I did not remember that. Very good. A light blue flame shot out in unison, blanketing the entire region around the door. At the same time, the redness in Curtis's eyes bloomed as he said with extremely corruptive words of a devil, "Corruption!" This was also an area of an effect attack. The light blue in his eyes filled up as Klein clenched his left fist, which wore a sinister and noble glove, and quickly did a half twist. If you guys weren't here, I'm giving Curtis the Slaughterer the Morty voice. This is gonna be great. Okay. The light blue eyes filled up as Klein clenched his left fist, which wore a sinister and noble glove, and quickly did a half twist. The fireballs immediately lost their trajectories and acted chaotically as though in random motion. They smashed into the ceiling, the door, the ground, or flew back at Curtis. Immediately, the booming sound in the room undulated. The seal created by the power of distortion suffered an intense blow as it trembled, but it didn't show any signs of damage. The light blue flame soared into the sky as the smell of sulfur spread. Klein's body suddenly bent down as his body was covered in a layer of clearly sticky black liquid. Interesting. His figure exploded, turning into torn bits of paper and a corrupted black fog. Immediately following that, he surfaced on the other side, his skin a clear shade darker. His clothes were torn from the explosive force and the flames of the abyss. Corruption, which had splash damage, was useful against his paper figurine substitutes to a degree, inflicting damage to a certain degree via an unavoidable influence. The aftermath of the explosion wasn't within Klein's control. Similarly, it dealt damage to him. However, upon their first encounter, Klein gave Curtis a cup of beer, completing a bribe. Therefore, attacks and controls directed at him were greatly negated. Curtis clearly didn't expect the minor influence of corruption didn't expect the minor influence that corruption had dealt to Gehrman. Just as he pulled out a long blade that was formed entirely of flames, and before he could unleash his speed and strength in a fervent attack, he saw his opponent's left-hand glove transform as though it was made of gold. 2 blinding streaks of lightning tore out of Klein's eyes, psychic piercing. But Klein really is a battle genius. He's so clever, dude. Holy fuck. Curtis immediately let out a tragic cry, "You bitch," as though 100 bottles of holy water had been infused into his mind. Now you changed to provoke me. He was rich in actual combat experience, and knowing that he had been struck with a psyche attack, he knew that he would subsequently suffer a series of relentless attacks. Hence, he instinctively transformed into a pitch-black liquid, spreading out across the floor. The liquid appeared to be the coalescence of the darkest and evilest desire of a person's heart, spreading across the room towards Gehrman, as though it would infect everything. This state is perfect. In a battle encounter, either party would suffer the problem of not being sufficiently prepared. Thankfully, I have always remembered the suspect desire apostle I encountered, and have completely held back all my desires and emotions. Klein didn't dodge as the glove on his left hand rapidly bloomed with pure and clean sunlight. Wait, if Curtis is coming towards Klein, couldn't he just let him devour him? I know he doesn't want to because he wants to graze him, but like, couldn't Klein just devour him and just be fucked? Because he's coming to Klein, and Klein just, even though he's in a sticky, gooey, whatever form, I doubt it would matter to Creeping Hunger. Creeping Hunger would be like, yum, 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 dinner time, all the same. He spread out his arms, allowing a pillar of holy light that had golden flames swirling around it to descend from the sky, illuminating every corner and shadow of the room. The column of light struck the richest part of the pitch-black liquid as it radiated outwards in a rippling manner. Amidst the bright and holy light, the pitch-black liquid quickly evaporated and mostly vanished. Most seers have a problem with random encounters, but well, Klein walks around like a fucking army. He's like every pocket is like jam-packed with every single charm he can fucking shove in there. He's like, okay, bro, if shit hits the fan, I don't know if I'd win, but god damn, am I dealing so much damage to you before dipping. I'm just like Klein pulling out charms is like Creeping Hunger is a sequence 5 characters you can't overpower, something like that. Oh, okay, cool. Klein pulling out random fucking charms is like this. This is literally what Klein does in a fight. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, you're a sequence higher than me? Charm, 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 charm. I was like, wait, what the fuck is happening? Amidst the bright and holy light, the pitch-black liquid quickly evaporated and mostly vanished. Curtis hurriedly materialized his body and reformed near the window. He still maintained his desire as a 3-meter-tall devil, as calm as always, but he could hardly hold back his intense bloodlust and desire to kill. The present him was already rather weak. He didn't dare to circle around Gehrman as he waited for him to show any emotion and control his desires. He ignited 2 mysterious goat horns on his head in an attempt to forcefully attack his enemy's psyche, inducing emotions to a certain degree in an unavoidable manner. Once he had any desires or emotions, he would immediately be in the Desire Apostle's control. At that moment, Curtis's head turned numb, causing him to nearly lose control of the thoughts he had. After both parties entered a range of 5 meters, the reason why Klein maintained a passive state, using Paper Figurine and Baron of Corruption, and barely put up a fight for a time, was to divert the attention in order to control Curtis's spirit body threads. Oh, that is so good. I was wondering, I was like, dude, why is he not using the marionettist power? Okay, this makes sense. With the strength of a Sequence 5 spirit body, it wasn't easy to obtain initial control over the Slaughterer to begin with. However, with the cup of beer bribe, it reduced Curtis's defense and resistance, and after that, this Desire Apostle suffered a psychic attack and was thoroughly purified by the light of purification. As a result, he became rather weak. Therefore, even though Klein was still using his other powers, it still took only 15 seconds to gain initial control over Curtis. Oh, that is so good. Oh my god, my Klein might go. Okay. So maybe someone can confirm for me. So initial control means like Klein can basically like their thoughts become slower, their movements become slower, but they're not dead yet, right? Like if Klein was to relinquish control right now, Curtis would live, yes? But if Klein held on to this control until he was in full control and he was a marionette, he would then die. Is that a correct understanding of the powers? Remember, at sequence 5, it takes 20 seconds for initial control. Imagine high sequence years. Okay, they're not dead. Okay, cool. The intense battle in the room instantly turned quiet, as though Curtis's thoughts had turned slow. He still had the ability to complete certain actions. He could still forcefully resist the controls stemming from his spirit body. When they hit full control, only then do they die. Okay, cool. Kit Kat, how's it going, man? Thanks for popping out of the lurk-in to confirm. The bloodshot colors in his eyes converged as his eyes reflected Gehrman's figure. The curled goat horns on his head began to burn intensely as greed, hatred, lust, wrath, and other emotions spread out in a corporeal manner. Klein entered a half-cogitation state as he calmly focused on deepening his control, hoping to make Curtis lose all means of resistance. I doubt it's going to be that easy, though. From a delay to a disconnection. So this probably means Klein had to disconnect his thing. Oh, Curtis might not die here. Oh, that'd be sad. No, kill him. Kill him. I really miss a stream. Yeah, no. I see you. I see you in participants. Yeah, I know you don't. I know you're here all the time. I appreciate you being here, buddy. On that note, I of course appreciate every single one of you being here. Whether you're watching right now, or you're gonna be watching the VOD whenever the fuck you're watching the VOD. In the room that had almost been reduced to ash, Klein, whose top hat had fallen to the side and clothes had become tattered, was about 4 meters away from Curtis, who was a behemoth with bat wings. The situation was so quiet, as though a puppet show was being played. In fact, Klein still had the means to do something else. Back when marionettist Rosego forcefully controlled both him and Sharon, he could resist the Wraith's possession and use flame controlling to summon a flame to destroy the shadow pulled in by Sharon. If he hadn't made a serious mistake by targeting Sharon, Rosego could have diverted his attention to killing Klein, snuffing out any chance of him using the language of foulness charm. Now, although Klein was definitely inferior to him, there was also only one enemy. Of course, there wasn't really much he could do. Under the premise of not losing control over Curtis, he could move, but he couldn't do it too hastily or quickly. He could use Beyonder powers, which didn't expend too much of his spirituality, but he couldn't divert his attention to power mystical item he carried, or use action that take too much movement, like drawing a gun. Okay, give me 1 second. Oh, good lord. Okay. And when a target was controlled to a certain degree, several attacks could nudge or stimulate the target, allowing them to resist the control of their spirit body threads to a greater degree, and even show signs of escaping control. Alright, I'm gonna go continue grinding. Okay, Nagato. You need to take a break, bro. Do you have the character, or are you grinding for the mats to summon for them? I don't... Okay. Therefore, Klein had to wait. At that moment, his heart rate suddenly sped up as an uncontrollable sense of horror and anxiety surfaced in his mind. He couldn't help but suspect that Curtis's companions, who had their intentions affected by distortion, were about to return. Gotcha, grind never stops, actually. No good. My emotions have been stirred. Klein was taken aback when he tried to use cogitation to forcefully calm his agitated heart. He has emotional stirrings. He has emotional stirrings. A chance. Curtis was delighted. Then, using his Beyonder powers, he attempted to magnify Gehrman's horror and anxiety. As long as he succeeded, all he needed was to completely trigger it, maiming his opponent, making him unable to influence him any further. Not until I get swimsuit zenith. Okay. No, how can it be ineffective? His emotional stirrings have disappeared. Curtis's bloodshot eyes constricted slowly as they gradually filled with shock, alarm, and anger. Klein, who imagined that he had given the Desire Apostle a chance to counterattack, discovered that nothing happened after calming himself down. The curled goat horns on Curtis's head were ignited, but he didn't attempt to use his emotional stirrings. A moment after having this thought, Klein understood the situation. It was that Curtis didn't wish to control his horror and anxiety, but it was that he had failed. From the moment he sensed the emotional stirrings, he had a few seconds to digest the situation before using 2 or 3 seconds to make a decision. Finally, he then spent even more time to organize his thoughts before channeling the corresponding Beyonder powers. All of that took him at least 10 seconds to complete. Klein only took a total of 3 or 4 seconds to calm his mind after detecting the problem. Therefore, Curtis's Beyonder powers naturally failed to be effective. To put it simply, the delay was too long. Under such circumstances, don't try to fiddle around with highly intricate matters, Klein lampooned, before suppressing his sense of Schadenfreude, rather. Integrate 250 poles and 23. Jesus Christ, that's crazy. Another 10 seconds, Curtis finally understood the source of the problem. He no longer targeted the desires and emotions, and instead, while flapping the bat wings on his back with great difficulty, relied on a devil's powerful body and spirit body to resist the control stemming from spirit body threads. He tried to make the swirling blue flame slowly coagulate into a fireball. Klein could almost foresee the fireball bombard him, but he didn't hesitate to split off some of his spirituality, snapping his fingers and with his right thumb and middle finger. Pah! The light blue flame suddenly soared before they took form and collapsed completely. They were like fireworks blooming. Magician's flame controlling. Curtis tried to struggle, but his actions became even slower as he resembled a rusting puppet. As for Klein, he casually moved his feet to dodge the devil language Curtis had launched. 3, 2, 1. Klein suddenly locked eyes onto Curtis's head, which had lost its curved goat horns. At that moment, he still needed 2.5 minutes from controlling this Desire Apostle to turn him into a marionette. But Klein didn't have such plans. He didn't have such plans in the first place. It took too much time, allowing Curtis's companions to rush back in time. Klein only had one ultimate goal: to control Curtis to such an extent that his attacks within a certain limit wouldn't help him escape. The bloodshot eyes, grimacing expressions, and sharp teeth with drooling saliva reflected in Klein's eyes, and he opened his mouth. Bang! An air bullet of his Sequence 5. This was comparable to a bullet from a steam rifle. The air bullet hit Curtis's forehead, causing him to throw up his head, yanking his spirit body threads. In between the brow, a bloody hole that wasn't too deep appeared. It wasn't a mortal blow. To a devil, a Desire Apostle. Their bodies seemed to be cloaked with thick, hard armor, and their flesh and blood had extreme elasticity and defensive strength. Klein kept forming air bullets. Pow, 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 pow. I'm a fucking child, I apologize. Well, Klein kept creating air bullets while making gunshot sounds, striking Curtis's forehead again and again and again, slowly leaving it a contiguous mess? Contiguous mess. Contiguous. Sharing a common border. Interesting. At the same time, he stably controlled the spirit body threads to prevent him from using the feedback to weaken his influence. Curtis let out an angry, stuttering roar. Rick, no, save me, bitch. As he tried moving forward in a bid to counterattack, but Klein was way more agile than him. And his plans to liquefy undoubtedly failed because of the spirit body threads. Another air bullet struck Curtis, completely shattering his forehead, penetrating his brain. The subsequent bullets flew in, one bullet after another. A new word every stream, actually, dude. It's so crazy, like, how many times I'll come across a word I don't know. Two blood red eyes split open in the middle of the... wait, no, what the fuck? I just skipped so much shit. What the fuck? Curtis's skull was finally sent flying as black crevices filled his brain. At that moment, it was a complete mess. The aura of the slaughterer, worth 9,500 pounds, quickly dissipated, but he didn't close his eyes, as he had already lost them. Bit by bit, he collapsed to the ground. Slowly. As Klein walked over and extended his left hand, two blood-red eyes split open in the middle of the glove. A cold and eerie wind appeared as Slaughter Curtis's spirit body, as well as his black fog like Beyonder characteristic, shot towards creeping hunger amidst the screams, before finally affixing itself to a blank finger. Soon, the glove turned black once again, but this time it was profound and pure, resembling countless squirming dots of the same color formed one layer after another. Klein sensed the change for 2 seconds before walking towards the shattered window, feeling somewhat disappointed and delighted. When grazing Curtis, he actually considered which Beyonder powers he wished to receive and which ones he didn't. The ones that he didn't want to receive was the danger premonition of a devil, as this needed to have creeping hunger constantly activated for maintaining Curtis's soul. That makes sense. And this meant that he needed to feed the glove every day, which spelled an extreme inconvenience. Furthermore, it also overlapped with the power of a seer to a degree. No, it doesn't. As for whether the danger premonition of a devil worked after making it into his marionette, Klein believed that it was targeted on the marionette and had nothing to do with its controller. And what Klein wished for the most was to draw the Desire Apostle's Beyonder power of using a target's emotional stirrings or the language of foulness, with the best being death or corruption. Really? I would have thought Klein would have loved the liquefy ability, because it allows him to escape danger if shit ever hits the fan. But I guess Klein doesn't have that much of a concern anymore with survivability. His now big concern is like attack potency, I guess. But like as a really good safeguard, I would love to have that ability. That's like Muzan's ability from Demon Slayer. Like he just turns into a fucking goop and just fucking runs away like a little bitch. At that moment, he had been quite lucky to obtain 3 Beyonder powers. Nice. One of them was Language of Foulness, but it wasn't death or corruption, but slow, which allowed all targets in a 7 to 8 meter radius to instantly turn numb or even come to a halt, but it could only be maintained for 2 seconds. That's not that much, but that's not that bad. Second Beyonder power was Sword of Lava. It could create a flaming sword with extremely high offensive abilities. First strike could directly cleave through a thick stone column, leaving the sliced off end to appear to be melted off. This was the option Curtis used when he was attacked maniacally. That is really cool. Okay, so it does kind of give him like a Beyonder offensive power, kind of. The third was Sulfur Fireball. Not only could it create an explosion of considerable might, but it could also poison people and objects which had been stained by the flame. It matched with the Devil's Form power. 10 to 20 fireballs could be launched at the same time. Out of that form, it maxed out at 3. Wait, what? Wait, what? But if matched with a devil form's power, what? If matched with a devil form's power, 10 to 20 fireballs could be launched at the same instance. Out of that form, it maxed out at 3. What's a devil form's power? What? In devil form, it's 20. Normal form. What do you mean devil? Oh, but Klein can't become a devil, so for him it's limited to 3. Oh, the devil trigger. Oh, I see. Okay, it is. Okay, thank you. That's not bad. The damage delivered by the Sword of Lava to undead or non-corrupt creatures is clearly higher than the Sword of Light of Holiness. Klein came to the window and happened to see the back of Curtis's companions opening up a distance for him. They haven't shaken off the influence? No. With so much time having passed, they must have shaken off the influence and returned somewhere nearby. Now they're just running away, sensing Curtis's death? That's a little weird. Klein turned his head and saw Curtis's corpse was still in his devil form. His form didn't change back to a human as a result. He took a look at his corpse for 2 seconds before coming up with a theory. Powers like a devil form are a state that control a body close to the state of losing control. However, they still have their reasoning and can change back while they're under control. Otherwise, they will maintain their forms. I would shit myself if I saw Gehrman walk into me with a lava sword. I think anyone would shit themselves if they saw a lunatic like Gehrman, dressed to the nines, wearing glasses, walking to you in the middle of the night with a fucking lava sword. You're just like, Lord, I know I've made a lot of mistakes, okay? But I need you to hear me out, okay? I need you to hear me out, okay? I didn't do anything this bad. Come on. Klein didn't delay as he searched the devil's corpse. He discovered that Curtis's gigantification had torn off his clothes and pants, causing his wallet and cash to scatter across the ground. Later, they were destroyed due to the blanketing attack from the fireballs. God damn it. Just as Klein looked away, he discovered something twinkling in the devil's chest. It was a thin and long crystal formed completely of blood. A faint smell of sulfur emanated from it. What is that? Curtis's Beyonder characteristic had clearly entered creeping hunger. Why would his corpse produce something else? As the second mate of the King of Immortality, Curtis didn't even carry a mystical item or sealed artifact. This exceeded his expectation. No monies. Well, his corpse is worth 9,500 pounds. How much more monies could this guy given him? He's gonna get 10 grand out of this guy. How much more? More! I want more! I want more money! Average capitalist cosplay. I'm a capitalist, for the record, but like a, but like a cool one, like a. Oh, for fuck's sakes. After thinking for a moment, Klein, who didn't have an answer, put away the thin blood crystal when he didn't sense any danger from it. He then bent down to inspect Curtis's devil form. Happy-go-lucky capital. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm like a tee-hee, you're having a bad day, no problem. You don't need to maximize shareholder benefit. But if you're having a good day, let's maximize shareholder benefit. You know what I mean? Skip your lunch. Fuck it, you're feeling good. Let's go. So, yeah. But then you're having a bad day. Oh, tee-hee, take the day off. No problem, You want to go drink on your lunch? None of my business. You feel free, brother. I wonder if I can still use this item to exchange for a bounty. How much I can get? I have no idea if I can contact the military over here. Send Oz Kent a telegram? This back and forth, together with the work he has to do remotely. It's hard to tell if it will finish in 3 or 4 days. Ugh, I'll be leaving tomorrow. I can't forget the middleman's cut. He mumbled, walked to the side, and picked up the clearly charred half-top hat and wore it. Then he dragged the heavy, massive devil corpse and walked to the door before reaching out to open it. A howling wind blew in, breaking the silence in that room. Hold on, I gotta fucking blow my nose again. I feel like I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I feel like I get so nasally. Fuck. I feel like all my voice is coming from here. It's so fucked. Okay, we're back. Klein tapped his finger joint to deactivate spirit body threads as he continued dragging the nasty, terrifying corpse across the corridor. At that moment, there weren't many happy people left in the bar. Tables and chairs were overturned and there were shards everywhere. It was a complete mess. Klein walked past the heavily damaged staircase into the main hall. He surveyed the area and found the forlorn bar owner behind the bar counter. Few of the bouncers he had hired remained, most of them scattered off. Klein walked over, one step at a time, with a devil corpse behind him, bumping into the furniture. What are you planning on doing? The owner yelled at the top of his lungs. Can you claim bounty rewards? The owner was stunned as he instinctively moved his gaze down before seeing the huge devil corpse. He and his bouncers drew a cold breath at the same time, many of them feeling surreal. This was a real devil. Apart from its lack of curled goat horns, it looked identical to the devils described in the church Bible or mythical stories. To ordinary people living in the pirate playgrounds, it wasn't rare to witness supernatural powers. Here, their horizons were clearly broader than the colonies of Oravi and the citizens of the kingdom's native soil. However, as the owner and bouncer of a bar, they had never seen a real devil before. The owner retracted his gaze with great difficulty as he looked at the stoic adventurer in tattered clothes. I can't. They should have the means to determine this is Curtius. It's Curtius, right? Klein silently heaved a sigh of relief and nodded. The owner hesitated for 2 seconds before saying, It's impossible to get everything. As you know, there will be some money spent during the process. The fees cost about 30%. Otherwise, you'll have to wait a while. After all, £9,500 isn't a small amount. For Toscarter Pier, it'll take at least a week. It's because there are pirates frequenting this area, and there are often adventurers here to claim bounties. Therefore, it has quite a bit of cash reserves. If you were in Oravi Island or anywhere else, it might even take 2 weeks or a month. Go to our Discord, like 2 weeks of this fight. Sure. Oh, that is so cool. Oh, that is so cool. Damn, that is so well done. Holy shit. That devil looks fucking massive. Holy shit, that is so good. All your devil form bullshit didn't account to a fucking thing, Curtius. Get fucked, loser. Haha. This one is okay. This one is amazing. Holy fuck, I love this. I don't know. What fucking mirror? £9,500 really wasn't a small sum. Klein remembered back in Tingent City, the Nighthawk team's monthly budget was only about £1,000. It was split between the church and the police department. He thought for a moment and asked the bar's boss, "Do you know me?" "Yes." "Can you figure out where I'm living?" Yes. "Send £6,000 to me before noon tomorrow." £6,000? That's less than 70%, about £600 short. The owner was taken aback, never expecting the crazy adventurer to take the initiative to lower the price. "Can you do it?" Klein asked. The additional £650 was compensation for the bar. After all, he had left the bar in a mess. But this wasn't something the crazy adventurer would say to himself. He believed that the bar owner wasn't a philanthropist. There was no way he would hand over the excess to others. The owner considered it before replying yes. Even though the official process wouldn't be that fast, there was nothing to worry about. This was because he planned on borrowing some of the money and using his savings to pay the bounty which Gehrman wanted. To be able to earn several £100 all at once wasn't something he could miss out on. I think he would still be like a mentor to Klein. I think so. I think regardless of, even though Klein's power is now way, way greater than Dunn's, there's something about experience that just can't be taught. So, like, I think it would still be like a mentor figure. If not like a mentor, then like a big brother figure at this point, I guess. Klein nodded, didn't say another word, and walked out the bar. When he came near, he took out a few yellow pennies and threw them onto the tiny ground that was still standing. After some clinking, the pennies spun to a stop. They numbered 8 pence. While doing this, the black-suited Klein didn't stop walking. His figure soon disappeared. What's the meaning of this? The owner said with a surprised and blank look. Most of the bouncers shook their head in the same expression, indicating they didn't know Gehrman's motive either. Only a bouncer who had been standing by the door said with a frown and uncertainty, when he first entered, he took someone's cup of beer and threw it at Curtius. This is compensation for that cup of beer as well as the cup? The bar fell into silence again. Although the owner and bouncers couldn't accept such an explanation, they had the baffling sense of feeling that it matched the style of the crazy adventurer, Gehrman. True, let's go, my go! Another set of clothes ruined. That's nearly £9. Thankfully, I made quite a lot. Yes, I'll have to make another set tomorrow. After turning into another street, Klein stopped and observed himself. He wasn't in a rush to the hotel he stayed at. He first followed the information provided by the head honcho of the Lone's new party, Molsona, and found a policeman who was controlled by drugs. The man helped the gangs commit several sordid deeds, to the point of creating a scheme to kill a witness. Jesus Christ. Klein fighting Sequence 5 daily. Yeah, Klein saw Sequence 5, and he was like, it's on sight, baby. Like, no preparation for this loser? Don't even need it. 3-on-1? I got it. Easy. Think about it. If this is Klein right now at a Sequence 5, and you guys say the gap between a Sequence 5 and 4 is indescribably big, Klein's gotta be like a fucking... Oh my god, Klein's gonna be so cool at Sequence 4. I mean, I know he's gonna be fighting other demigods, but fuck, dude. Imagine how much money you could make as a demigod. You just walk around and your existence would just be like mind-numbing to Sequence 5 or 6ers, and you just bounties. You could be a millionaire in like, I don't know, like 2 weeks time. It'd be crazy. Again, I know they're like beyond money at that point, but still, you know. Klein isn't. Klein's true love will always be money, okay? So even if he's a demigod, even if he's a true god, his true love will always be money. He channeled his spirit to confirm his crimes before allowing creeping hunger to enjoy a true feast for the day. After doing that, Klein turned to his hotel via carriage and entered his room. Imagine if Klein was a Sequence 5 and assassinate. He would have killed Tracy for sure. Because just being able to see the spirit threads meant that her turning invisible is negated. It doesn't even matter. I can see where you are. So, like, okay, that's done. So Tracy can't just wait. And now at that point, I'm fucking killing you so quick. Justin, how's it going, man? After doing that, Klein returned to his hotel via a carriage and entered his room. After setting up the altar, he used the ritual to send creeping hunger and the thin blood crystal above the grey fog. Sitting at the end of the long bronze table, Klein didn't hesitate to pick up the glove and release the soul of the Priest of Light. This Sequence 5 powerhouse had a thin face and an elegant bearing. He was an amiable elder, and he wore a simple white clergyman's robe. He bowed to express his gratitude to the mysterious existence concealed in the grey fog. Klein gently nodded as a response. He then conjured a pen and paper and wrote down the divination statement. The potion formulas for the sequences above: Sun's Pathways, Sequence 7. Leaning back into his chair, he began using dream divination to communicate with the spirit. He will go along with Tracy to gain initial control. Okay. I didn't understand what you meant for a second, and then okay, yeah. Admiral, yeah, Admiral Hell was lucky, bro. He would have gotten bodied on sight. Wait, okay, now we can just go back to regular music. Why are we still listening to boss music? What are we doing? The grayish world quickly changed. He saw the priest of light scroll open a piece of brownish goat skin in a room filled with sunlight. On it was written a formula in ancient Fasak. Sequence 6, Notary. A whole bunch of main ingredients. I'm not writing that. I'm not reading that. I don't care. After a few seconds, Rippled surfaced again, outlining an opulent hall with golden statues. Inside the hall, a man covered in pure light that prevented one from looking straight at him, said to a half-centenarian elder, "This is the potion formula for Priest of Light. Remember, dispel the darkness and praise the sun." Praise the sun! The elder received it and opened it in excitement. Sequence 5, Priest of Light. Wait, is this son sequence 7 or 8 right now? What is he? Wait, no, he's a 7, right? Oh my god, he's going to be a sequence 6 notary now? No, I know the names. No, I know the names. I know that. Oh my god. Wait, and Notary is said to have the same power as similar powers as Thing, right? Creeping Hunger? Not fucking Christ. Shepherd. Oh my god, kill me. No, that's Scribe. Oh, that's Scribe. Never mind. Oh, yeah, that's... Oh, Scribe. Yeah, that's Scribe. Sorry. Haha. Oh, I see. Never mind. Damn. Okay. Notaries about contracts? Ugh, garbage. Damn, I thought... Dude, I thought... Oh, I thought Derek was about to become a fucking monster. Okay, never mind. Okay. The elder received it in excitement and opened up the ancient goatskin. Sequence 5, Priest of Light. Again, I'm not reading the fucking ingredients. I don't really give a shit. Ritual. In pure darkness, bury your entire body in ice that usually doesn't melt before consuming the potion. What the fuck does it mean, bury your entire body in ice that doesn't usually melt? What is that? Ice that doesn't usually melt? What does that even mean? All ice melts. What? What are we doing? Derek is cooked. Pure darkness in the City of Silver. Magic ice like demon ice and zombie ice. Oh, I see. Packed ice. I would assume the reason you would pack yourself in ice is because you're gonna produce so much heat that like it calms your body down. Otherwise, you produce so much heat and you don't have anything to cool you off. You just lose control. I would assume. I don't actually know, but that's what I'm assuming. Like the scene. Oh, like the hold on. Oh. I think you forget that if you're in the darkness, in the City of Silver, you disappear. Oh, true. Yes, I did forget this. This is what I would imagine. This is what I would imagine. Derek has the fucking ice is gonna. Derek is gonna do to the ice when he fucking. When he finally completes the ritual. Just. Dude, I'm actually a fucking meme lord. I have like a meme for everything. The scene was over. The scene quickly vanished without any additional content. Klein wasn't surprised. He knew very well that when it involved the domain of a demigod, the seven churches would directly provide the potions and rituals without giving them the formula. At this moment, the Priest of Light's figure had mostly dispersed due to the forceful spirit channeling. His painful expression eased as he raised his head and spread out his arms as though he was embracing sunlight. Praise the sun, the Priest of Light closed his eyes as he piously said. I'm sure if fucking... Wait, could Derek take the potion above the gray fog? Could Klein take a potion above the gray fog? Would that work? Is that a thing? Would that work? Because, like, no? Because, like, physical stuff can't exist up there. So why not? Just get rid of your chance of losing control. There's only the spirit body. There's only the astral body up there, I guess. Okay. Damn, I thought I figured out a cheat code right there. Damn, never mind. A pious believer, Klein sighed in his comment. The main ingredient of a notary is the root crystal of a tree of elders. I remember that Miss Justice's psychiatrist potion requires the fruit of a tree elder. From the looks of it, spectator and sun pathway might be interchangeable at high sequences too. The difficulty of a Priest of Light's ritual for most people is to find ice that doesn't usually melt, but it's different for the little sun. To bury a living person in pure darkness in the forsaken land of the gods will lead to one's disappearance. A method to avoid this has to be figured out. Dispel the darkness and praise the sun is the acting method? Klein considered for a moment before picking up the blood crystal produced by Curtis's body. Yes, let's go take an ice back in the god's domain. Yeah, exactly. Klein, the fool can conjure anything up there, so really that would work. Hear me out, Roy. I feel like that idea could... if you could get your physical body up there, I feel like that idea is goated, okay? After a few seconds, he wrote down the divination statement. Its origins. Klein is about to look into another fucking god. Holding up the item and the piece of paper, Klein softly chanted and entered a dream. In the grey, blurry world, he saw the death announcer. With its bow and stern curving upwards, he saw Curtis climbing up a soft ladder and arriving on deck. Just as this desire apostle found his footing, a thick black fog emanated from the deck's cracks. It was filled with a corruptive smell that enveloped Curtis within it, corrupting and tainting all the shimmering objects around him, including his body. The gas quickly contracted and entered Curtis's chest. The color gradually turned dark as though it was a blood stain. Finally, everything returned to normal. Curtis genuflected as he said to the deck, "Your will is my will, great death announcer." Following that, the scene in Klein's mind shattered. He sat straight up and looked at the thin, long blood crystal. The death announcer is alive? I don't know what to do with that information. A sealed artifact with living traits. This crystal is the source of its control over its crew, and it comes equipped with an intense corruptive force. Therefore, mystical items of low levels will be corrupted by it. Interesting. If I read 2 more chapters, is 688 an okay place to end off, by the way? Blatherer. I don't know. Just an alternate name. What do you think about this knowledge? The death announcer is alive. Okay, so we know that living objects can become. So we know that inanimate objects can become. Can infuse the power of spirituality and stuff. Okay, 688 is fine, thank you. So what pathway would do this? It's got to be if the devil pathway, because that black liquid bullshit and corrupting feelings, that feels like a devil thing, but it feels like it's got to be a high sequence devil thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it corrupted a sequence 6 of a devil pathway. It's got to be high as fuck. Maybe a sequence 4. That's cool. A fucking ship is a demigod? I don't even know if that's how that would work. That's scary as fuck. Whose ship is the death announcer? Is it Admiral Hell? Sequence 5. Curtis was a desire apostle. Oh, Curtis was a desire. Oh, Curtis was sequence 6? No. Desire Apostle is 5? Desire Apostle is 5, yeah, sorry, okay. Yeah, so he's got to be a sequence King of Immortality, Agalitho. Agalitho. And Agalitho is a king of the seas. So, okay, that would make sense. But, like, that's crazy. As you're telling me this fucking guy's ship might be a sequence, might be a demigod? That's crazy. I don't... Like, I mean, it just puts the... It puts King of the Seas in a whole nother category. Like, did you see the Weibo post today? There's a Weibo post today? What's up? Yeah. Another Duyan style post? Oh, I see, okay. I think 1 second of new content. Ugh. Okay, kill me. It's fine, yeah. Once, yeah, I'm not checking. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, God. Okay, just, hey. One more day, right? Tomorrow we'll get some announcement. Well, hopefully an announcement about the announcement date. or the announcement about the announcement date, Jesus Christ, announcement about the release date. Picking up the blood crystal and smelling the faint smell of sulfur, Klein could vaguely sense the corrosive power hidden within. I'm gonna beat the shit out of the Lord of the Mystery Promotion team. Like, seriously. Legend has it that the Abyss is an area with the greatest power of corruption. Even an angel will fall and lose control there. The people guarding the Abyss will eventually be assimilated by the Abyss. The characteristic shown by the Desire Apostle does match this point. Deepening the assimilation of a Desire Apostle. Klein allowed his thoughts to wander. He soon noticed a detail. Kirchis had declared loyalty to the Death Announcer, not the King of Immortality Agalitho. Does that mean that the real King of Immortality is the Death Announcer? Agalitho is only its spokesperson or an administrator to infect targets? Good lord. As you guys can probably hear, my voice is just getting worse and worse. Rumor has it that Agalitho isn't even a demigod. He relies solely on the Death Announcer to become one of the four kings. If that's the case, his situation is worse than expected. He doesn't have any autonomy. Of course, I can't eliminate the possibility that he's also a Sequence 4, and his relationship with the Death Announcer is one of cooperation. He is a demon after all. Klein contemplated for a few seconds before attempting another divination to see if he could get any revelation about the blood crystal's usage. He wasn't afraid it would incur a huge problem for him, or it could be said that he had already prepared to receive any. Even if it was connected to the Devil King in the Abyss, it would at most be equivalent to the backlash of the True Creator or EBS. Klein believed that the Great Fog had the means to defend against it and suppress it. Good lord, hold on. Good lord, my voice is just getting fucked. This is the first time. I won't have my location locked on, so it's probably not a big deal. Besides, I already divined its origins and there wasn't any danger. What do you think now? I think it seems like Agalitho is probably a Sequence 5. Maybe, and then the Death Announcer is a Sequence 4, which is crazy. The fucking boat is telling everyone what to do. Like, it's like better add this to the Agalitho lore? Yeah, I guess. Therefore, the Death Announcer definitely isn't a Sequence 0 devil. Isn't that obvious? If it's a Sequence 0 devil or a sealed artifact at the level of Kings of Angels, Amon, then there's no way to avoid the joint forces of me, Queen Mystic, Admiral of Stars, and Anderson. Klein realized that he had been frightening himself. He seriously began the dream divination. Good lord. I'm getting stuffed up like a fucking teddy bear right now. I can't breathe at all. Agalitho. Let's add this to your lore, buddy. Let's add it to your lore that you are a fucking fraud. One day the Great Fog VPN is not going to work and fuck over Klein. That's what I'm saying, dude. One of these days, Klein is going to push this fucking place too far, and then he's going to get fucked. He's going to be like, oh? In the blurry world covered with thick black fog, a monster formed from dark colored clumps of flesh as it produced a raging roar. Blatherer. The scene changed, producing an ancient-looking altar which was splashed with fresh blood. Engraved on it were the words and symbols filled with corruptive feeling. It was as though they were shouting something. Aye, how's it going? The hazy world shattered as Klein slowly opened his eyes and sat straight. He tapped his finger on the edge of the table. Blatherer refers to the state before Death Announcer became a sealed artifact, a blatherer of the abyss. Or was it a gigantic monster formed from the dark-colored lumps of flesh and became a sealed artifact after being killed by a blatherer. Regardless, the final confirmation is that there's one ship involved, otherwise it wouldn't have solidified to its present state. From the laughter of the person on the brink of losing control, it's likely that the death announcer corresponds to blatherer. Our preliminary prediction isn't that is that it isn't a grade 0 sealed artifact, otherwise Agalitza would be the best of the four kings. Doubt it. Probably a sequence 3. Furthermore, Agalitza doesn't match well to it. The level of power shown isn't that high. It's at most a sequence 4. How do we know this? Alright, I'll add this to the Agalitza lore as well. Blatherer is a sequence name. Yeah, I figured. Am I crazy? Wait, do I know what corresponds to the secret suppliant pathway? Like what is interchangeable with it? Do I know? No, right? Because if not, am I crazy, or does blatherer feel like the opposite side of listener? Is that crazy? Like maybe they're like opposites and they're like interchangeable. Or do I know what's interchangeable with criminal? Maybe. Oh, mutant and a criminal. No. Mutant and criminal. Mutant and criminal. Mutant, criminal, and secret supplant could work. Maybe the three of them are interchangeable. That corruptive altar that gave off a feeling as though it was shouting suggests that Blood Crystal is able to summon a high-level devil. For example, a blatherer. Would Mr. A wanted some other payment as sequences payment for the assassination? Oh, I see. Okay. Having no idea how to summon a high-level demon or devil, nor having any plans to do so, Client casually threw the crystal along with a characteristic, the glowing crystal left behind by the Priest of Light, into the junk pile. Then he perfunctorily named the former Aura of Blatherer. After doing this, Client cautiously attempted another divination to confirm if there was any danger he would encounter that night. Danger that came from Agalitza. Although he already had a premonition, in fact, he already had a premonition for the divination's outcome. Agalitza wouldn't touch ground on the island. This is interesting. Now he's starting to get, now he's starting to make predictions for the divination. Interesting. Firstly, because Toscarter had a hidden demigod, ordinary Beyonders might not know, but the Four Kings have some high-level understanding. It was unlikely Agalitza would wish to have a head-on conflict with other demigods. Forcefully entering into the territory of others wasn't his style. From your notes, sequences mentioned by Mr. A. Unknown pathway. Prophet and manipulator. Wait, could Prophet? No. I was thinking maybe Prophet could be like a high-level seer. Because like Prophet would be like a much higher level version of seer. Do you know what I mean? But that doesn't make any sense. No, never mind. I don't think so. What would Prophet be? Wait, Cataclysmic Interrer is a high sequencer, right? That's like of the Sailor pathway. Cataclysmic Interrer? Yes. Oh, maybe Prophet would work. Although Prophet would also work for something like the Sun pathway, because like priest, Prophet, maybe. Manipulator would probably be the Spectator pathway. Oh, sequence 4. Yeah, I think, yeah. Profit. Oh, wait. No, that's fine. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I was thinking maybe if Spectator and Sun were interchangeable, the third one would be like another one that was interchangeable with. That's not the case. That's fine. Okay. Secondly, Klein's previous theory had reached a conclusion. Agalito didn't dare leave the death announcer, and the death announcer had no way of going ashore. Indeed, Klein received a revelation that it would be very safe that night. This meant there was no need to change appearance or move to another hotel. Around 9 in the morning, Klein saw Anderson appear the moment he walked into the restaurant and found a seat. Anderson sat across from him. The strongest hunter used his fingers to comb through his hair. He looked at Gehrman. Wow, you managed to hunt Kirchhoff, even winning a 1-on-1 fight, even winning a 3-on-1 fight. The way you dragged the devil corpse downstairs has already spread through Toscarter Pier. It said that every pirate with a bounty on their head has decided to distance themselves from your sights. They will not appear within a 5-kilometer radius of you. Ever since he acquainted himself with Frank Lee, Klein had quit drinking milk. He raised his hand to order a cup of coffee, a piece of bread, roasted pork sausage, and a plate of butter, and replied in a calm manner, "Your intel gathering's pretty good." Anderson chuckled. This is necessary for a hunter. The Toscarter adventurers are discussing a serious question as to who's the strongest hunter. When Anderson saw Gehrman look up with a cold, ambiguous gaze, his smile froze. They've all chosen you. After all, this is the Sonya Sea, not the Fog Sea. Why do you need to add that second sentence? You're just asking for a beating. Klein casually asked, "Anything else?" Huh? "Any other intel?" Klein repeated. Anderson signaled with his eyes. "There is. Malsona from the New Loan Party has mysteriously disappeared last night. He disappeared in his own room, protected by countless guards. The official explanation is that Malsona already died. The reason that he was possibly consecrated as an evil god or summoned a devil. No one believes that. It's because the Church of Storm has received an anonymous letter that has detailed records of Malsona's crimes and other evidence." He stared intently at Gehrman, hoping the adventurer would provide him with some more info. He clearly remembered that Gehrman had asked who deserved to be killed yesterday, and his answer was Malsona. Klein tersely responded, without saying anything more. So I guess did he give him confirmation? At this moment, a figure rushed into the hotel. He looked towards Klein in delight. It was none other than the bar owner from before, Mr. Sparrow. The owner took off his bonnet that had a depression in the middle and frowned. "It has already been confirmed, but the process will take another 2 days. It's too large a sum. I know you're leaving today, so to not delay your schedule, I decided to cover the bounty for now. Well, a portion comes from the bar's liquid cash, and a portion of it I loaned. Please make sure the number's right." He deliberately spoke in detail to express goodwill to Gehrman. He wanted to befriend this crazy adventurer. I mean, if the guy's earning you like 600 pounds, yeah, I would want to be this guy's best friend too. I'd be like, "Shit, dog, come by my bar whenever you want. You know what? Just stay here. Fuck it. You know what? We'll get you a room for free on the house. Don't even sweat it." As for whether Agalito would seek revenge on him, he wasn't worried. Many a time, Kirchhoff would similarly claim bounties through him. After all, it was a reward for battle between pirates. Everyone liked gaining some additional cash. It was an unspoken rule at sea. Klein did a preliminary count of the thick stack of notes worth 6,000 pounds. Split them into a few stacks, placed them into different pockets, and said with a nod, "Not bad." The owner heaved a sigh of relief and then warily surveyed his surroundings before suppressing his voice. "Please, be careful. Agalito is a vengeful person. He might intercept your ship at sea." Imagine Gehrman gets sent to Pirates of the Caribbean and pirates think he's a goofball like Jack Sparrow. Yeah, they gonna find out real quick. Damn. Stay the fuck away from this guy. I know, Klein replied indifferently. The bar owner didn't speak any further. He bowed once more and left the hotel's restaurant. Do you have the means to leave? Anderson looked at Gehrman. Yes. Klein revealed a gentlemanly smile. I'm relieved by your confidence. By the way, the tickets. It sets sail at 1:30. Impressive. I thought it was rather amazing, earning £1,600 in a night. Who knew? Yeah. That's so true. This guy's sitting there, he's like, dude, I thought I made a killing last night. This guy just fucking quintupled it. Wait, quintupled it, quadrupled it, sorry. Klein didn't respond as he began enjoying his breakfast. Later, he made a new suit to prevent himself from lacking a change of clothes. Time passed, and soon it was time to board the ship. Anderson held a newly bought suitcase and looked at Gehrman. Are we just leaving on the ship? The death announcer should be in the surrounding waters. The future left yesterday after it was resupplied. He felt that leaving while under the wrath of Agolito wasn't a wise choice. It's impossible for Gehrman to be crazy enough to storm into death. Unless it's a trap, Anderson thought. Klein didn't turn his head to look at him. He boarded the liner with his suitcase. His thoughts were simple. It was likely that the death announcer could sense something wrong with its aura. Based on the King of Immortality's modus operandi, it was unlikely for him to make a forceful assault. If his assumption was wrong, the moment the death announcer appeared, Klein would immediately enter his room, go above the grey fog, and use the sea god scepter to respond. To see who was stronger, the blatherer or the sea god. Oh shit! I love how Klein is like, oh, you're a demigod. Real cool. I'm gonna beat your ass, okay? If you come near me, we're whipping out the whip, and I am beating you senseless, okay? At sea, I reign supreme. This wasn't Klein's original plan. He had planned on using the Sea God Scepter to command Sea God creatures to find an underwater carriage for himself. Then, under layers of protection from his charm, he would pull Anderson out of the water and escape the range of the Death Announcer's blockade before secretly boarding a liner he had tickets to. That's such a convoluted plan, what the fuck? However, in consideration that the target of revenge suddenly disappeared, it was possible that Agolito would vent his anger by slaughtering the liner indiscriminately. After all, pirates didn't abide by the law, nor did they have any morals. After divining above the grey fog, Klein decided not to leave brazenly, get smited. Yeah, exactly. He's like, ball of fire. Well, actually, it would be lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt, until he just gets fried. And you're like, listen, I get you're a demigod, but you're a fucking ship, okay? Do you understand? All it would take is some fucking fireballs, and it will burn you to ash. Okay, so how about you tuck your tail between your legs and fuck right off. 688. Boys, it is crazy to say we will reach 500 tomorrow. That's crazy. 700. 700. We're going to be halfway through this fucking series tomorrow. That's on. Oh my god. I think tomorrow is to the day 3 months from when I started. I think March 18th was my first ever live stream, and tomorrow's going to be June 18th. Oh, that's so dope. That's fucking awesome, dude. Ain't no way. March 18th is my birthday? Hold on. Bro forgot Nash ship can travel to Spirit World. I don't think it's I don't think Death Announcer is weaker. Wait, what? Yeah. I know I didn't forget that, Thunder, but like I mean I don't know how to compare those two things. Let me quickly check. I don't actually know. I feel like it was March 18th, but now that I said it, let me just make sure I don't have the number wrong. First ever stream, chapter 54 to 58, March 18th. Tomorrow, it's going to be June 18th. 3 months to the dot, and it'll be at chapter 700. Not exactly, but basically halfway through the series. We've read in 3 months half of the series. And really, it's closer to 2 months because I had like a 20-day break in the middle. But you know, that's crazy. That's actually nuts. After hitting the deck, entering the cabin, coming to his room, Klein was about to say something when Anderson spoke up. That's not right. If I were the passenger on this ship, I would definitely be afraid and nervous to see an adventurer who just offended Argolito. I'd either get the captain or the first mate to convince you to switch to another ship, or switch ships myself. But they're also calm. This guy is sharp. He's able to notice minute details. Is he a real conspirer, often acting as a happy-go-lucky adventurer? But he secretly grasps the situation and makes preparations? At that moment, Anderson raised his hand to slap himself on the cheeks. I get it. It happened just yesterday. The matter is only spreading among a number of adventurers and pirates. Typical tourists and sailors wouldn't know about this yet. Besides, people who know what you look like are definitely people with good intel, not normal folk. Wow, he even answers his own question. Do you know that time is life? Do you know that time is life? What? Klein lampooned and entered the first-class cabin. It wasn't that he wished to enjoy in comfort, it was just that he needed to watch over Anderson. He didn't want this unluckiest hunter to bring disaster to this liner. So he got him to book a first-class cabin for themselves. With a suitcase in hand, he walked straight into the master bedroom. Klein pointed to the guest room and the servant room and said to Anderson, "Choose one for yourself." He's so mean. Anderson was taken aback. "You're very used to this." "Of course, I have rich experience in interacting with hunters. If Danitz was here, I would designate him to the servant's room." Klein didn't answer as he entered the master bedroom. Klein lampooned. True. 1:30. The steam engine whistled as the liner set off on time. See? That's how you know that's a bug. A liner taking off on time? Bullshit. After hanging his coat, Klein walked out of the master bedroom in pants, a shirt, and a vest, looking out the window. Thanks to the wind, the green waves ebbed as they spread along the outline of Tosscarter Island, inch by inch. That's no way to see the full situation. Anderson came over and smiled. You can only ensure there are no problems from one of the flanks. The death announcer might appear from the other flank, or the front, or the rear. The best option is to climb up to the crow's nest. There's definitely a crew member up there, but an experienced hunter has 100 different ways to fool their senses. Klein turned around to look at Anderson. Well said. I'll leave this to you then. Huh? Anderson was taken aback. He snapped his senses. You don't have any other means to observe? Without any other means to observe, how is he to lay a trap for Agalito? No, Klein nodded. I can only rely on you. Who gave you the courage to leave under Agalito's scrutiny? Anderson was speechless. Don't stop me. I'm jumping ship, as he muttered to himself. He left the cabin and headed for the bottom of the crow's nest. In theory, Agalito, or the death announcer, should have long sensed my ill intent and sensed the danger that stems from me. Will they attack? Will they believe that I'm at the level I show myself as, and that I don't have any help? Or will they suspect that I'm a powerhouse who can interfere with premonition? Or will they suspect that some powerhouse who can interfere with their premonition for danger did something? Klein retracted his gaze and looked once again at the sea. After a while, he suddenly sensed something and had to look. A tall messenger buried out of the ground. Mr. Azek replied pretty quickly this time. Klein politely received the letter, nodded, and after the skeleton messenger collapsed and then disappeared, he unfolded the letter against the sunlight coming in from the window. I am very happy to hear about your advancement. Your travels have been more interesting than I ever imagined. Azek is so sweet. Azek is my goat, dude. He's so sweet. He's going across the world. He's fighting unimaginable dangers. He's like trying to piece together who he is bit by bit. He's coming across family that he had and lost and forgot about. And he's like, I'm so glad that you made it to sequence 5. It is truly a magnificent matter. God, oh, he's so sweet. It's like, it's literally like Derek talking to Audrey and Audrey's complaining like, oh my God, you don't understand, okay? So like last week I had to go to a party and I didn't have a new dress. Every dress I had I'd already worn and I couldn't be seen in the same dress, okay? Everyone's going to think our family's going through a lot of trouble if I show up in the same dress. And it's a horrifying... And Derek is like, oh my God, that's terrifying. Meanwhile, Derek is just like fighting off 18 monsters with one hand tied behind his fucking back. This is what Azek is doing. Like, he's so sweet. Those waters are indeed very dangerous. I vaguely remember that it might have to do with the source of the cataclysm. As for why there's a remnant aura of ancient death there, I'm not certain. I will keep your warning in mind. Before completely recovering my memories, I will not enter those waters. The true creator's ravings aren't pleasant to the ears. I love Audrey. Yeah, me too, man. I'm somewhat interested in the ring worn by Admiral Hell. However, I've recently been embroiled in some matters of the past. I might take some time before paying him a visit. Upon seeing this, Azek couldn't help but smile. After replying to Mr. Azek, I'll tell him that I have the means to lock onto Admiral Hell Ludwell's location. I must get him to bring me along when he pays him a visit. Oh no, I didn't define the location of the Murloc cufflink recently. I'm not sure if Ludwell has discovered it and thrown it away. Yes, I'll divine it above the grey fog after I confirm Agalito isn't chasing me. Moving his gaze away, Klein continued reading. The ancient chronicles I received from Katarina does mention matters regarding artificial death. To put it simply, the former royal family of the Balam Empire, present upper echelons of the numinous episcopate, had gained inspiration from the hidden sages coming back to life and turning anthropomorphic. They wish to let death, which is at present only a concept, to experience something similar. Wait, the hidden sages suddenly coming to life and turning anthropomorphic. Coming to life and turning anthropomorphic. I feel like that sentence is really valuable, but I don't know what that means. Like, turning anthropomorphic makes, like, my immediate instinct is like, maybe previously that position was held by someone, or held by like a... Is it theoretically possible for an object to become a true god? Would that even work? I don't know. Like, maybe an object was a true god, and then a person became a true god, and that's why it became anthropomorphized. Does that make sense? Am I being autistic when I say that? I don't know. There's a possibility of it being fulfilled. Due to the indestructibility of Beyonder characteristics, the perishing of death doesn't mean that the corresponding Beyonder characteristics and authority have been lost. The sequence 4 corresponds to Seer is Bizarro. That corresponds to Seer is Bizarro Sorcerer. The powerhouses of the Antigonus and Zaratul family left me with a deep impression. Even though I've forgotten the details, my recollections still bring me some feelings of fear. That's crazy. So far, the only person we know for sure that made Azek feel fear was a true god. It was Alista Tudor. And now you're telling me the Antigonus and Zaratul family also made the console of death feel fear? Oh, that is terrifying. As for where to get the ingredients and formulas, I'm not certain. Perhaps you can switch to a neighboring pathways. I've recalled matters regarding this. You can choose sequence 4, Secret Sorcerer of the Apprentice pathway, or sequence 4 of the Marauder pathway. However, I vaguely remember that these 3 pathways only allow switching at sequence 3. Klein was right. So there's some qualitative change that happens at 4 for all of them. And then you can switch after, because until then you're not a complete package. Basically, you can't switch until you're complete in the lower portion. Because it kind of be like stacking on an unstable Jenga block, if that makes sense. I mean, you guys already know it, so I mean, sure, it makes sense to you guys, but like. It'd be like so like, you know, you have like you have 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and then you can get like a 4 of another pathway, and then the 4 can be like this. Sorry, and the 4 can be like this. But if the underlying structure is stable enough, it'll stand. But if your underlying structure is kind of like this, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, you can't put this on top because your shit'll get fucked. But if you have if your 4 is this giant heavy block that comes down and it squishes everything into subservience, now you can put the 3 on top of another pathway and be stabilized, probably. I've done nothing today. It's 3 a.m. so I just stopped by for a second and doing something until I sleep. All right, sounds good. Username. Interesting. Okay. This big block would be qualitative change. Interesting. Indeed. There's only Eridus left. You finally understand why Botus is called the Saint of Secrets? True. Cool analogy thingy. Oh, thank you. I came up with it off the cuff. I think I'm getting better at this whole thinking off the dome thing, because my instinct is always to like try to have like conversations that I've thought about, because I don't like just, you know, spouting random bullshit. But you know, one does what one must. So I know 9876 sequence 4. Secrets Sorcerer. Okay, I will just... Okay, cool. Apprentice Sequence 4, Sorcerer Botus. Secret Sorcerer Botus, Saint of Secrets. Yes. Indeed, there's only Eridus left. Klein forcefully produced a grin. After reading the reply, he took out a pen and paper and wrote the parts of the content he had already thought of, as well as asking about the exact definition of a mystical creature. After putting down the pen and paper, he wasn't in a hurry to summon the messenger. He planned on waiting for Agalito to appear before adding the request for help into the letter and then mailing it out. This way, he could hold out for some time, and the Sea God Scepter, and he might even have a chance, and he might even have Mr. Azek tear through the spirit world to rescue him. When the time came, the two of them could join forces and claim Death Announcer as their own. That's crazy. Klein is like, dude, please come try to beat my ass, okay? I'm gonna fucking hit you with the Uno reverse, please. As for why he didn't write it ahead of time, it was because the devil might not come again due to the premonition of danger. Of course, Klein had no idea whether they could sense the exact contents of their ill intent. After waiting patiently for a few hours, Klein heard the door open. When he looked back, he saw Anderson stroking the side of his face. The Death Announcer hasn't appeared. We've completely left the waters around Toscarter Island. Call an ambulance, but not for me, yes sir. Agalito actually didn't seek revenge. This fellow was more impressive than I imagined. Anderson sighed inwardly. Klein gave a regretful nod, walked to his coat rack, took his coat and hat in preparation for heading to the dining hall. Okay, definitely, sorry, that's definitely a typo because I was reading that and I was like, I'm having a stroke, right? Walked to his coat rat. In a secret chamber, a small red glove team was discussing the case they were working on. Soul Assurer Soest held chalk and pointed at the blackboard. Come on, Leonard, do something useful, please. The Devil Murder case this time has some similarities of Duke Negan and Backlund. First, a human skin with its own smell and aura disappeared. This is something that hasn't appeared in many of the devil-related cases in the past. Second, there's more than one devil. They take turns wearing human skin to carry out normal activities to conceal their partner's evil acts. They're suspected of belonging to the Beria family. Beria family? That's a angel family, right? Or no? Are they even scarier than devil families? Who the fuck are the three great devil families? But Betty and Andriel family are rumored to have gradually weakened. Okay. The Beria family symbols is an abstract combination of a pentagram and goat horns. The Beria family is still an extremely ancient family with deep roots. Wait. Okay. There were the Zaratul family, the Zoroast family, which had always been loyal to the Solomon Empire, the Augustus, Sauron, Einhorn, Castilla family of the Truance dynasty, and the furtive Andrial and Beria family, as well as the Demoness family, which stemmed from a true goddess, which was one step up from angel families. Okay, sorry. You met Jason Beria? Yes. If you could turn your greatest enemy into a leather chair, would you? Listen to me, my son. You don't have enemies. The truth is that no one has them. At that moment, Leonard, who appeared to be listening attentively in the corner, couldn't help but recall something when his captain mentioned Backland. Having witnessed the complete destruction of the underground ruin, he wanted to take time for himself to investigate the mysterious detective Sherlock Moriarty. He planned on starting from Sherlock Moriarty's former landlord, but his team took on an emergency case and began to investigate a new series of serial murders. But he had no choice but to leave Backland. What about Bullseye? I leave him for God. I leave him at the mercy of God. God shall deal with him. Leonard turned his head to the side in He planned on starting from Sherlock Moriarty's former landlord, but his team took on an emergency case and began to investigate a new series of serial murders. He had no choice but to leave Backland. Leonard, what's your take on this? Soest named Leonard to continue. Leonard turned his head to the side in a daze and looked at the contents on the blackboard and quickly organized his words. I believe that it's not a form of concealment, and that it's not only a form of concealment, but it's also a form of particular ritual. Captain Soest, as you know, devils have many kind of blasphemous and evil rituals. Reasonable deduction. Soest then gestured for another member to speak up. Oh, thank God, the old man has been catching me up on devil studies recently. Klein heaved a sigh of relief and began attentively listening to the discussions of the team. Interesting. After a 2-day voyage, the liner safely arrived in Oravi Island. After checking into the hotel, Klein said to Anderson, "Wait for me here. That demigod doesn't like strangers visiting." He didn't wish to expose the contact person of the life school of thought. God says it's super effective. Yes. I hope I'll live to see him, Anderson smiled bitterly as he wished himself good luck. The corners of Klein's mouth twitched, and he gave up saying anything further. He rode on a carriage and went straight for the Church of Storm's St. Draco Cathedral. Before long, he arrived once again in the small room in the magnificent bell tower, where he saw the tall, extremely asymmetrical and ugly bellman, Carnot. After hearing Gehrman's intentions, the hunched Carnot nodded. "I'll bring you to Mr. Ricardo. He has already recovered and is no longer where he originally was." "All right." Just as Klein gave a response, he suddenly recalled that Carnot was a product of the Church of Earth Mother's human body refining. He then asked a question. "Do you know Frank Lee? I don't know, Draco from Harry Potter became a saint. True." You know, after he bullied Harry, he did some introspection and he realized he didn't like the person he was becoming. And then he became a saint, really. It's a wonderful story, really. Okay, alright. We're gonna leave it there. I don't think there's any more art, so that's good. Storm Church, though, makes sense. Yeah. Hey, listen, he stopped hating. He stopped hating, but, you know, he's a little sexist. You know what? He gave up hating all humans to just be a little misogynistic, okay? Is it great? No, but it's a huge improvement for where he was, okay? He may in time see the Lord of the Sun's light. All right. On that note, I think we're gonna call it. Wait, how many chapters did we read? 8. Okay, we did 5 chapters, and I think I'm like 5 minutes behind schedule. And given all the fucking bullshit I'm going through, I feel like that's pretty good timing. No, we did 5. We did 84 through 88. No. Yeah, sorry, counting is hard, Romero. It's all good. All right, that's it, everyone. We're gonna leave it there. Thanks, y'all. Hope y'all have a great rest of your day or nights. I'll catch y'all hopefully tomorrow morning or tomorrow night or whenever the fuck it is for you guys. I'll give you guys a heads up. That's it. All right. Peace.